Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now I've had an unbelievable offer. Let me tell you all about it. Cue the intro. Well, if you haven't been watching the vlog, a few videos ago I talked about this bike should stay or go. This is a Royal Enfield Himalayan. It's less than a year old. It's done just over 2,000 miles. I've reviewed it, I've taken on adventures, I've ridden it across the beach, I've gone off-roading on it, I've done green lanes, I've done absolutely loads. This bike is incredible and it's brilliant at what this bike does. But I kind of got to this point where it's like I've made so many vlogs on it, I feel like it's time for a change on the channel. And I'm kind of playing on my heartstrings with this. I still think could do some more stuff, but I want something with more power. And not just with more power, something that makes, makes like the goosebumps come up and I go, oh, I really, really love the look of that. And I sort of discussed that on this sort of if this bike stays or go video. And the thing of it is, this bike, like I said, it is incredible and I would love to actually keep it and have this as kind of like my green laney style bike. But times are really difficult, like financially, it's a really, really hard time. We're all in a sort of cost of living crisis and as much as everybody thinks that being a YouTuber makes me awesomely rich, it really, really doesn't. So obviously I have to fund all the stuff that's going on. So I have put this bike up for sale. Currently it's had no offers put on it. And I've put it at, I believe, like a really, really good price. Being less than a year old with just over 2,000 miles on, with the first big expensive first service on this bike done. But you never know, it might sell. I'm not going to let it go for peanuts or any of that stuff. But anyway, what came after I released that video was something that was just the most unbelievable offer. And it's an incredible offer. Now, in that video, I talked about certain sorts of bikes I'd quite like. And I'd quite like to get my hands on a Harley Davidson to do some crazy riding on. But I also had like a dream bike that I wanted to buy that was the Triumph Speedmaster. But then I kind of looked at this and looked at that. And I love the Bonneville. I've had one of them before. And I was like, the Triumph Scrambler. The modern Triumph Scrambler looks absolutely out of this world. And I was hoping in my head I could part exchange this and go and buy another brand new one. But like I said, with the cost of living crisis, things like my gas and electric have tripled. And when I say I'm paying a crazy amount of money, I really, really am. Then on top of it, I'm trying to keep everything going on the channel as well. All the crazy adventures and all the plans, because I won't quit. I won't give up on my channel. And for me, this is a massive part of my life. And this is where I want to be all the time, making awesome videos all about motorcycles, all about crazy adventures, reviews a lot, and this is my dream and I want to follow that dream. So anyway, I can't currently afford just to chop this in and grab myself a new sort of scrambler, and I'm gutted in some ways because I'm ready for that change. I'm ready to move the whole channel onto a different bike and talk about it and everything else. So anyway, that video went out and I had an unbelievable offer, and I mean this is like once in a lifetime offer, right? I've been offered, I can't believe this, but I've been offered for a person to custom make me a scrambler to my specification, to what I want, to make me it, not charge me to make it, but their own time to make me the bike of my dreams. I mean, that is absolutely incredible. Now, this isn't just any old person. This isn't Dave down the pub making promises that they're not going to keep. This is a person that is probably one of the best motorcycle engineers that I've ever seen. And we have quite a lot of history together already. Now, this person bought my Bonneville. I had, right in the early days on this channel, I had my own Triumph Bonneville that I absolutely loved it. I wanted a Bonneville since I was a kid. And a similar thing happened with this. It came to a point where I wanted to make more videos about different stuff, and I put that Bonneville up for sale. This person bought my Bonneville and actually made it into an incredible, incredible scrambler. If you go right back to the Strata Florida playlist and you look, I think it's episode 1, where we get to the campsite, it might be episode 2 actually, and I actually got to ride the scrambler that they built at the end. And when I say it was oh, it was incredible. It had so much power. The bike was completely different to a Bonneville, kind of what they bought it as. It was basically a completely different bike. They made it into an unbelievable machine. I had a short blast on it, but I was smiles and giggles, and I did not want to give it back. So as you could imagine, when you get a message saying that they will build you a custom bike, I was like, oh yes, oh yes, please. Now the thing of it is, this person and this channel is like incredible. Like I said, this guy builds bikes, he fixes bikes, he literally does some incredible stuff. And a lot of you would have guessed because he's been on the channel quite a few times, and you'll be already watching his channel. But this guy's called Joe. And Joe literally is an incredible engineer, and his channel's called The Works. You can go and watch that entire series of him building that scrambler and get to see it at the end. It is just, honestly, it's out of this world. Now, this is the thing. This is, like I said, the thing that it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, because somebody at that skill level with that much talent offers to build your bike. You don't say no. But this hasn't sold yet, and this probably would have ended up not funding it all, but being a big chunk towards it. The ideal world would be I'd keep this while that's being built, because it's not like that bike's going to be built overnight, and obviously being built to the specifications, to the dream bike that you want it to be. It's basically no longer really going to be a Triumph Scrambler, because the base bike would have to be a Triumph Bonneville again, because that's the bike that I want. And it would have to be built into this Scrambler that is unique, special and incredible. And that's probably going to take months and months and months. And again, on a channel side of things, yes, I could just ride my monkey bike on a load of adventures, but the reality of that is that you become known as the monkey bike rider, or you become this certain kind of style. And I like to keep this channel continuously mixing up, and there's some other big plans going on again in the future, but I don't generally just want to have one bike for sort of 6 months. But even still, this is up for sale. This is what I said, it's like a rock, and it's almost like a rock and a hard place. It really is, because if this sells, obviously the money's going to go into that, and I need to first of all find a base Bonneville to buy, and then obviously I'm going to drop it off to him, and then there's all the other stuff like the engine that goes into it, the amazing suspension, there's the front forks, all of it. He's going to literally engineer this bike to be absolutely incredible. But like I keep saying, the cost of living at the minute, running the channel to the level where I want to run it to, because it has to keep going. Whenever you create videos, you have to keep the next story, the next adventure going. It's got to stay alive. And to build and grow on YouTube as well, it is a constant, and it's got to be a little bit different, and it's got to be sharp, and it's got to be quick. And if you say you're going to do something, you've got to do it, because if you start letting down your audience don't believe in you more. And the one thing I've done on this channel is, if I say I'm going to go and do something, I've gone and done it. I've not just said, oh, I'm going to maybe do this in the future and then never go and do it. If I'm like, this is what we're doing, we're going to ride around the country like the Compass on £1,000 and less bikes, we went and we did it. I'm going to take a Honda monkey bike through one of the most dangerous green lane stroke off-roads in the United Kingdom, and I drove a monkey bike down the Strata, Florida. You're going to do it, because if you say you're going to do it, you've got to do it. And that, in my head, is the way that it works. Now, the thing of it is, I desperately want to start this build on this bike, because, like I said, it's a once in a lifetime. I've already got a vision of what I want this bike to look like, and what it's going to be so custom, so helmet head. And obviously, with the Works kind of stuff and inspiration that he's got on there, it could just be so amazing. But I don't know, like I said, I've got to sell this potentially, find some more money for that, keep the channel going. If I could, in my sort of, again, dream world at the minute, the country would sort itself out, prices would come down, and I'd have a little bit of excess money. I could put it together, we could get the Bonneville, that could be running and going in the background while I still keep my hands on this and get some more adventures done in the meantime. And then, of course, ideally, that would then be ready. That would then replace this. This sale then would open up another load of money to basically tackle a lot of the abroad stuff I want to do, where I want to fly, different countries, hire different bikes during the winter, and go on more and more crazy adventures where it's not snow, rubbish and crap here, and then come back and do the summer over in this country, visiting different places again. And that's the dream. But like I said, financially, I'm not rich, and I really, really wish I was. The world of YouTube, I'd say I put in 3/4 of the money out of my own pocket to what this channel actually makes to make it happen. Is to give you an idea. And with the prices of things at the minute, I'm struggling to keep going the way that I'm going now, with all of the outlays and the cost that it is, to add more to it. So I'm just at that point where I'm desperate. I am so desperate to make this happen, because it'd be a dream come true. First of all, I need to find a Bonneville, one that's ridiculously cheap that I can afford, peanuts basically, that's good enough, and all the other stuff. So I don't know, sort of watch this space kind of thing. Hopefully I can pull something out of the bag. Hopefully, you know, we'll get some people involved to maybe make this happen. And dreams can come true, and I've proven it before, and I know that he'll do that probably in 6 months' time if I wanted him to. But now I've kind of got it in my head, I want this to happen so badly. I kind of feel like I need to make this happen, and I feel inside that it's kind of like a purpose that I need to be excited again, if that makes sense to anybody. So hopefully it can happen. And I just want to try and say, when it comes down to this channel as well, as always, like, a massive thank you to my patrons. I don't probably shout them out enough these days, but thanks to those guys chipping into Patreon and helping out with, you know, the cost of things. A lot of stuff I do wouldn't happen. Their names are in the credits, same as the channel members as well. They don't really get a lot from it. They get to see some of the videos first, and they get a little bit of interaction compared to what they give. They get a lot more, you know, I get a lot more, I suppose, than they do, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, just thank you so much, everybody, for your continued support. Fingers crossed I can really make this happen, because I do. I just really do.
Live a little, flip the page, give it some more, getting out of my way. I was hiding, bulletproof, forever waiting. Then came you, I thought